Are you curious about the colorful world of tourmaline? Today we are going to have an overview on tourmaline stones, their meanings, answer your top 5 questions about tourmaline, and at the end I will reveal if you are somebody who could benefit from tourmaline energy. My name is Sheila Satin and I'm one of the owners here at Satin Crystals. Today let's start talking and learning all about tourmaline. What is tourmaline? So tourmaline is a semi-precious gemstone. It encompasses a whole group of boron silicate minerals. Now this group all has the same crystal structure, so they're structured the same in their crystal formation. However, they have varying chemical compositions. So the differences in the chemical composition of each tourmaline is why tourmaline is one of the most colorful minerals in the whole world. So it comes in more colors than any other gemstone on the planet. The top 5 questions we are going to answer today are: how many types of tourmaline are there? What is tourmaline stone good for? How do you use tourmaline in healing? How can you tell real versus fake tourmaline? And how do you clean and take care of tourmaline? How many types of tourmaline are there? So as I said, tourmaline comes in all kinds of colors, every color of the rainbow. There are at least 38 minerals that are under the tourmaline category. I will show you 5 here, and you can check out our article at Satin Crystals for even more tourmaline examples. So first of all, I have here a rubellite tourmaline, and rubellite is a reddish purplish tourmaline. It is kind of like the ruby of tourmaline, so sometimes it was confused in the past with rubies. We have a pink tourmaline. And the pink tourmaline is a little lighter, as you see, more pink than the rubellite, which tends to be more red. There is a green tourmaline, so embedded in the white, you will see nice green tourmaline crystals. And this is also called verdolite. This stone in particular has also lepidolite, purple crystals on in the back of it. And you can read on the article that that is one of my favorite stones that I have. And the most common, most abundant tourmaline is found in black. This is a raw black tourmaline, also known as schorl. And then an interesting one that I'll show you, also a very fascinating tourmaline that I have here on my chakra plate at the very top right here, is a watermelon tourmaline. So watermelon tourmaline has green tourmaline growing on the outside, and inside is the red tourmaline. So it looks like a watermelon. It is a fascinating, naturally occurring tourmaline. So those are a few examples of natural colors of tourmaline. What is tourmaline good for? So metaphysically, tourmaline is good for all of the chakras. As I said, it comes in all of the different colors, so you can use them for your 7 major chakras. It is great for when you are reevaluating your life, when you want a great upheaval to get rid of the status quo and move forward and progress in your life. So physically, tourmaline actually creates an electric charge when it's under high pressure or heat. So when this electric charge happens, it'll draw in little particles to the stone itself. So in crystal healing, tourmaline is used for electrifying your aura to attract all the energies that you do want. Great for manifestation in this way. If you have pink tourmaline in particular, it's great for the heart chakra, for love. The watermelon tourmaline has both the green and the pink that vibrates with your heart chakra. So this is great for divine love. If you have the black tourmaline, it is particularly very popular for protection. People use it for protection when they're doing meditations or even going out and about in the world. And then tourmaline is also great for the emotions, to balance your emotions, great at the solar plexus chakra. In medieval times, tourmaline was known as a muse stone, so you can use it for inspiration, for imagination, for creativity, all things that tourmaline are great for. How do you use tourmaline in healing? So there are many different ways that you can use tourmaline in your crystal healing rituals. I am going to show you 5 different ways here, and then we have a lot of ideas on our Satin Crystals article. So first of all, you can grid black tourmaline around your space for protection. You can even hold this when you're doing meditations or astral travels so that you protect your aura. You can place pink tourmaline under your pillow at night for sweet and peaceful dreams. Make sure to program it for that specific purpose. You can use tourmaline with your moldavite. So moldavite is a green tektite stone. It is very, very popular right now in the metaphysical healing world. It has extremely high vibrations. So we have an article with 3 different rituals where you can use your moldavite and your tourmaline together to increase these energies or even counterbalance it because of the grounding of black tourmaline and the high vibrations of moldavite. So check that out at Satin Crystals as well. You can place your tourmaline pyramids at your crown chakra. And this helps you to access your higher self, gives you a direct channel to your higher self. You can also wear tourmalinated quartz, so jewelry, or have it with you. So as you can see, this top bracelet here has white quartz and black tourmaline strands within it. This helps you to balance your yin and yang, your light and dark energies. So that's just 5 different ways you can use your tourmaline in healing. As I said, we have a lot more ideas for you as well. How do you tell if your tourmaline is real or fake? So as I said, tourmaline comes in a lot of different varieties and colors, so sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to identify if you have real tourmaline, fake, or something totally different. So first of all, make sure that you have a trusted vendor who knows what they're talking about, so you know that you are buying real tourmaline. If not, you can also send your piece into a certified gemstone laboratory and they will certify it for you. Now, luckily for us, tourmaline is not one of the stones that is commonly faked, but you still want to know if you have a real one or not, so I'm going to give you a few tips. First of all, we will start with raw tourmaline. Raw tourmaline has a prismatic shape, so it has flat faces, and the edges where the faces meet is a little bit rounded, so it's not super sharp. You can see that here on the raw black tourmalines as well. They are prismatic faces and the edges aren't super sharp compared to some other crystals. Another distinct feature is that they have striations. So along the faces of the raw crystals, you will see these lined grooves running parallel. And these are very distinct to tourmaline. If you see these striations, it is very highly likely that you do have real tourmaline. Now, another thing that I had mentioned before is that tourmaline creates an electric charge when it is under pressure or heat. So if you see little particles attaching to your raw tourmaline crystal and it is under this electric charge, then you can assume that it is more real than fake. And then also, raw tourmaline has an effect known as pleochroism. So this is where the color looks different when you look through the crystal versus across the crystal the short way. So usually the color looks darker when you look through the barrel of the crystal. When you look the short way, it looks a little bit lighter. So this color difference can be very subtle though, so you might not be able to tell, but if it's very distinct, you could have a good clue there as well. So that's a few tips. Also, I forgot to mention is that when you have a raw piece and you look down the crystal, it kind of looks like a pencil shape. So that is a good indication of real tourmaline as well. Now this one I don't have an example of, but if you have a tourmaline with multiple colors in it, the colors should be in zones or patches. So you should have 1 color, 2 color, 3 colors in layers rather than all mixed up and mottled. So if you do have the color zones within your crystal, it is more likely to be a real tourmaline. Now this one applies to all tourmalines. Tourmaline is a 7 to a 7.5 on the Mohs scale of hardness, so it's relatively a hard stone. Anything that is softer than 7 on the Mohs scale of hardness will not be able to scratch or destroy your stone. So for example, if you have a pure steel knife, which is around a 5 on the Mohs scale of hardness, it should not be able to scratch your tourmaline. And then lastly, I want to tell you about polished tourmaline, which still has a lot of grooves and veins and little divots in it. And this is because of those striations that we talked about before, that when the stone is polished, it's rarely ever super smooth like glass or other stones or obsidian might be. So this is an easy way to tell. So for our beading work, like this one here is a faceted black tourmaline. The way we tell it apart from other black stones like onyx or obsidian or jet is we look very closely and we can see those little lines and divots and veins and fractures within it. And that is an easy way to tell that it is actually tourmaline beads. So those are a few ways that you can tell if your tourmaline is real or not. How do you take care of your tourmaline stones? So tourmaline is one of the crystals that can go in water. So there's several methods that you can use. A lot of people like to use water, so you can just place it under running water for a few minutes, few seconds, depending on which stone you have. So if you have a polished stone like this egg here, it has been stabilized, so it's a little bit more hardy to go underwater or maybe even soak overnight. However, if you have a raw tourmaline like this piece here, it is already very crumbly and it can just fall apart if you are soaking it in water. In this case, I would just recommend a few seconds under the water, let it completely air dry, or just use a soft cloth. You don't want to place tourmaline, or raw tourmaline at least, in salt water. You don't want to leave it outdoors to weather. The raw tourmaline has a lot of the grooves and the fractures that can just disintegrate, as I said. Now, if you're looking for metaphysical cleaning, charging, and programming your tourmaline for a specific intent, make sure to watch our crystal cleansing videos and you will find all that information there. So those are the answers to your top 5 questions on tourmaline. Now, are you somebody who could benefit from tourmaline energy? If you can relate to one or more of these statements, then tourmaline is definitely for you. So first of all, if you are seeking a crystal that has a rainbow of colors, it comes in all the colors of the chakras for balancing, then tourmaline is right for you. If you are seeking a stone for inspiration, you want to gaze into your tourmaline. If you are attracted to the raw formations of tourmaline, the pencil-like, clear, prismatic shapes, then tourmaline is great for you. If you are looking for a strong protection stone, you can use black tourmaline. If you are looking for a divine love stone, use pink tourmaline. If you want to re-energize your life, give yourself a jump start, move on and into a more spiritual path, then tourmaline is the right crystal for you. Thank you for watching today and learning all about tourmaline. As I said, we have a lot more information about tourmaline and a whole collection of tourmaline gemstones that you can buy at Satin Crystals. While you're there, don't forget to join our VIP club as we send out members-only specials and crystal healing information throughout the year. Please do like and subscribe to our videos so that we can bring you more metaphysical information, gemstone information, meteorites, crystals, all kinds of videos in the future. As always, thank you for your positive energy at Satin Crystals, and thank you for spreading your light into our world.